Hey guys, it's been a minute or two, or about like 5 weeks. Sorry. I've been exhausted, and I think now this video will catch me up to where I am. So expect either weekly or bi-weekly updates from here on out. If not a lot happens within a couple weeks, then I'll mush probably two together. I'm gonna try not to go more than 2 weeks. I think that just gets complicated and messy, and I'd like to keep this on a weekly basis if possible. So I'm pulling up my notes. So towards the end of week 5, going into week 6, I started becoming constipated, and that was something that I don't really remember experiencing in my first pregnancy. So that was new. I also started to get some really weird dreams. This has been continuing from then. So up through since 5 or 6 weeks till now, I've been having some really weird dreams. Like I remember the first weird dream that I had a dream that my purse was stolen out of my car, but one of my coworkers was in my car and was able to tell me that my purse was stolen. But then I'm in the back seat of my car, and I guess I was trying to see if they had taken everything or what, and they came back and opened up like the opposite door and just started going through my work bag while I'm in the car. And I remember trying to scream and I couldn't, so that was the first of many weird dreams that I've had so far in this pregnancy. In week 6, I started becoming nauseous, and that has been a continuing theme as well. I don't think I'm feeling as nauseous now as I'm hitting 9 weeks, but I do notice it if I'm not eating consistently. I have to eat. I feel like it's almost every 2 hours on the dot. I'll start getting hungry and I'm like, yep, it's been 2 hours. So I need to pack many snacks. My lunch pail is kind of ridiculous. I have to eat very regularly or else I get nauseous. Also in week 6, I was still experiencing that corpus luteum pain. And to be honest with you, I think I felt that all the way up until about 8 weeks. I'm not feeling it now, and I haven't noticed it the past couple days at all. So very glad to be not feeling that anymore, because that was concerning, but it was never that bad to where I thought I needed to look into it further. In week 7, I noticed that my boobs were really sore, and that also started happening in week 6. But week 7, they were sore. Even now, they're a little sore, not as bad as they were. I have the word hungry written in caps lock. It was like,
I need to eat, and I need to eat all of the things right now.
That has changed a little bit. I don't feel as hungry, but week 7, definitely I was a little hangry. Also, I was supposed to have my very first appointment in office, and then they called me and said, would you mind just doing it over the phone? So they did my orientation over the phone, and then they sent my blood work paperwork to the hospital, and I had my blood work done there. So they went through all of my levels and all of that stuff, and everything came back fine. I also have written for week 7 that a craving that I was having was McDonald's sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin sandwiches. I could eat one right now. That's still a thing. I've always liked McDonald's, but we don't go there often at all. It's one of those once in a while kind of things. But funny story. Well, I think it's funny. I don't know if you'll think it's funny, but I think it's funny. Chris and I went to McDonald's because we were going to Walmart to get groceries, and we woke up late and just didn't eat breakfast. So I ordered a sausage, egg, and cheese muffin with a hash brown, of course, and orange juice, small orange juice. Chris ordered a bacon, egg, and cheese on a biscuit and a hash brown and like a medium orange juice or something. He had something small at home, so when he got to McDonald's, he ate most of his sandwich but didn't eat it all. And he was like, do you want this? And I was like,
yeah.
So I devoured that, finished off my orange juice, and then I looked over at him and I was like,
are you done with your orange juice?
and he's like, yeah, why? And I was like, gimme. So I took that and sucked that down, and yeah, him and I have laughed about that a couple times since then. So hunger is definitely a thing. I have an update on my appointment. Basically, I've repeated week 8. I'll talk about that in a sec. But during the first round of week 8, I have hungry written as number 1. And then underneath that, I wrote that I either wanted everything or I wanted nothing. So it was like everything sounded good and I wanted food, or I think it was to the point where if I let myself go too far, then I was like, I don't want anything. Nothing sounds good, I don't want anything, I just didn't feel good. And then I also have written down that I've been peeing more often, especially at night. So before I could get through the night no problem, now I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to pee. I also had another craving, and I also had one of my first aversions in week 8 as well. My craving was orange juice. So I went to Sam's Club and bought like a 2-pack of the Simply orange juice. And yeah, it didn't last long in our house. So I would usually drink a glass of that as I was getting ready in the morning. It was just kind of nice to have something with some sugar and something with some calories in it if I wasn't going to eat right away. And then the aversion, which if my friend Megan is watching this from high school, she's going to be like, wow, that is an aversion for you. The aversion was ketchup. Now, Meg and I in high school, this is gross, but again, we were in high school, although I can't really blame it on high school because I can still kind of be like that sometimes, but not recently. So we would have like, I don't know, let's say it was tater tots with cheeseburger day, okay? We would literally have like half of our plate, we'd pump the ketchup, like so it would fill half of it. And the woman that would always take our lunch money would look at us and be like, do you want some food to go with your ketchup? There would literally be no ketchup on our plate by the time we were done. We would take these tater tots and these burgers and like dip them and drench them in the ketchup, and it was delicious and I loved every minute of it, and I know she did too. So if you're watching this, Meg, ketchup, it's an aversion. What the hell? I had started writing down my week 9. However, this kind of takes me to my first appointment. So we had our first appointment on Friday, and at that point I should have been 9 weeks and 4 days. So we went in, she did an internal ultrasound, and when she measured the baby was measuring 8 weeks in 1 day. So what is that, like a week and a half behind? And I looked at her and I'm like, is that okay? Like, is that fine? And she's like, oh, totally. Like, there's a heartbeat. You probably just, well, and I know I ovulated late, so I told her that. And she's like, keep in mind, those sperm can live 72 hours in there. And I was like, I know. That could have been it too. We did measure a week behind with our first pregnancy. I was supposed to be 9 weeks in 1 day, and the baby had measured 8 weeks in 1 day. Also kind of ironic that the first pregnancy we measured 8 weeks in 1 day, and with this pregnancy we measured 8 weeks in 1 day. The heartbeat was there, just a flickering away. She saw the baby move. She was like, look at it moving around in there, but I didn't see any of that. I was too fixated on that little flicker because that is all I wanted to see. I just wanted to see that flicker. And to be honest, when she started the ultrasound, I was really worried because I saw a sac and I didn't see anything in there. And I was like, no way, you've got to be kidding me. But that was only like the first maybe 10 to 15 seconds of the ultrasound. So I was like, give it a minute, she'll get there. And she did. And I would show you the ultrasound picture. I might try to insert a picture of it because the quality's not that great. So I'll have to alter it a little bit so you can actually see the little bean. But it's so little. She zoomed in on it quite a bit. And I felt like, and Chris would agree, that we could see the head and the body like distinctively. But when she zoomed back out to print the picture, you can't really tell. Other than all of those updates for the weekly updates, just a couple other things that happened at my appointment. My blood pressure when the nurse took it when I got there, I can't remember the exact number and I kicked myself for not writing it down. It was in the 140s over the 80s though, which is high. And I told her, you're just gonna wanna check that at the end of the appointment because there's a little bit of anxiety going on here. So the midwife checked it again at the end of the appointment, and it had gone down, but it was still in the 130s over like the low 80s. So that's still high. She mentioned that she would talk with the doctors in the practice. This practice has 3 doctors and 2 midwives, and I am planning on only going back and forth between the midwife that I saw, that I've seen the most often, and the doctor that actually delivered our son when we lost him. So those are the only 2 I'm going to bounce back and forth between. There is another doctor that I haven't met yet, so I'll probably see him. And if things start getting worse, I will see if the doctor can specialize me, so I'll just see him. But for right now, nothing is that bad to where I only have to see the doctor, so I'm going back and forth between the midwife and the doctor as of right now. She said she was going to check with the other doctors to see if they were just going to label me chronic hypertensive right away. And then she backtracked and she's like, you know what? I'm just going to label you as that, and that'll be done with it. So as of right now, not only am I at high risk of developing preeclampsia again, but I am also being labeled as chronic hypertensive. So from what I'm understanding with that, I knew that they were going to see me more often anyway because of our previous loss. But now with the blood pressure, that'll be even more so. I can't remember how she explained it. I think for the first trimester, I'll go in every 4 weeks as usual. But then I think as we start getting into the second trimester, I may start going in twice a month, I think is what she said. And then as we hit third trimester, it'll be every week. And they'll do the non-stress tests and all of that stuff. Had I only been labeled as high risk for preeclampsia, the deal was if I wasn't showing any symptoms, they would induce labor at 39 weeks. And if I was showing symptoms, it would be 37 weeks. But of course, it could go before that as well. Just depending on what my symptoms were and how bad they were at the time. Now with the chronic hypertensive label being thrown in there, they will not let me go past 38 weeks. That's all I understand it as of right now. The other thing that they had me do this week is a 24-hour urine collection. So she gave me the hat to put on the toilet to pee in, and then you dump the contents of that into an orange jug. I took my blood and I was good to go. I don't have the results back from that yet. I would assume actually, they probably are back now. I just haven't checked the patient portal yet. So I'm almost certain that's everything that I wanted to say. So as of right now, I'm 9 weeks and 0 days. I will try to make my uploads on the weekends. Let's see what's today. Today's Wednesday. So anywhere from Wednesday to the weekend is probably when you will see my uploads. So I'm going to show you the not so much of a bump because I don't think I'm showing at all. Again, I have stuff there from last time. It looks like I'm pregnant, and I am, but I'm not that far along yet. If anything, it's bloat, and that's about it. So I'll go ahead and show you guys my belly. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I don't really know what else to include in the bump dates. So if you have questions or ideas, please leave a comment below and let me know. Maybe I'll start incorporating how big the baby would be at this point. That might be kind of fun. So if there's anything that I missed that you like seeing in bump dates, please let me know and I'll be sure to include that next time. I would also like to do a question and answer at some point. And actually, Chris jokingly the other day was like, you know, I think you should tell your subscribers that once you hit 500 subscribers, I'll do a video with you. I don't even know if you guys want to see that, but I'll put it out there. I believe the last time I looked, I was at 475, so joke's on him, I'm only 25 away anyway. But that video might be coming sooner than later too. So if you have questions for a couples video, make sure to leave those down below too. So I will see you guys very soon. Bye. Oh, my glasses aren't on. I ain't getting back up. Dinner's done, be right back. And now the Humps is calling me. Hold on. So she had said that she would talk to the other doctors about probably, holy cleavage, Angela. God.